The following broadcast is a Nighthawk Network presentation. What's going on, good? What's going on, good people? Your boy E-Buck in the building, ready to talk to you on the show that we know as I Am Nighthawk. Of course, I am the Nighthawk E-Buck, as you know, and I have definitely been getting my Nighthawk on lately. I will explain more why at the end of the show. Keep in mind, this is going to be a condensed version of I Am Nighthawk this week. And moving forward, you should be getting I Am Nighthawk back on its original day on Tuesday. As always, one of our greatest people in the network, Road to Stardom, checking in. What's going on, Road? Thank you for checking in. We appreciate you as always. Before we get into it, let us acknowledge my good friend, Road, with that good old promo that I made in her honor. Here you go.
On Blog Talk Radio or where most great music podcasts are located. Don't forget to subscribe and show some love.
All right, y'all, we are back. I am Nighthawk in the building. Rhoda saying she was watching the game. Keep in mind, y'all, it's a lot of game going on right now. I got the baseball game going on over here. I got the football game going on back there. And I got my other phone so I can keep up with the WNBA, saying it's the final day of the season there. So, yeah, you got all that. Then I think it's a couple of college games going. A lot going on. We'll talk more about that later on in the week on that pod I like to call Big Buck Sports Report. But today we are here to talk about one subject that involves one person, but yet a lot of people. What do I mean? Y'all know what I mean. It's basically been the story of the week thus far in our news cycle. It's about this man right here. Yep. We are here to talk about Mr. Sean P. Diddy Love Combs. All right, y'all. Unless you done been under a rock, good people, you should know by now that earlier this week, they took Sean P. Diddy Combs into custody. And again, unless you have lived under the rock for the last several months, you know what's going on. Basically, they have been setting up for this moment to indict this brother in regards to what he had going on in his life for the last who knows how long. Okay. But bottom line, he is in custody. They have had court hearings where he has tried to post bond. Okay. We'll talk about that in a minute. But as it stands right now, at this moment, P. Diddy Combs in jail. In jail without the bail. In jail because he failed. Sad situation. How did we get here? I guess we'll establish that later on down the line. But bottom line is we are here, okay? P. Diddy Combs in jail. And of course, because he is the person he is, the very, very high profile. Look, she's saying from 2008 to present. Keep in mind that indictment is some 13 pages long, and it lists a litany of things that he is being accused of, primarily racketeering, having people have sex under duress, basically kidnapping. It's a little bit of everything in that charge. It's ugly, okay? If it was basic person A, yeah, it wouldn't be looking good for them at all. But Diddy, it's a discussion. It's a discussion, and we'll have it, okay? So check this out. All right, the man is in jail, okay? And I say the man because remember, at one point in time, P. Diddy kind of ruled the world with this thing. You know what I'm saying? He was the hottest producer. He was a person all over your television set. He had Sean John everywhere. He had the Sean John cologne. He was internationally known. He was at Paris Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week. He was on MTV. He was at the Grammys. He was everywhere, okay? He was that guy, all right? Worth over $1 billion. Remember, this is the same person who at one point was looking to purchase BET by himself, okay? A situation over $1 billion. He basically was like, I got it. Let me go on and get that. Now, understand what I just said. In the past, we've had other people accused of things on this level, and it seemed like it always seemed to come off right around the time they were trying to do something monumental. Remember the rumor from back in the day where they talked about young Bill Cosby, Dr. William Cosby, and how at one point he was looking to buy NBC. Oh, yes. Don't forget his alcohol line. That's correct. Don't forget about the Ciroc. True, true. Thank you, Big Joe, for checking in. This is also true. But yeah, he was an icon living, a living legend. But now, okay? First off, here's the thing, people. Understand that if for whatever reason they come up with no other charges beyond what they got right now, Sean is done, okay? In terms of any type of influential anything, he is done. Remember, not only is he dealing with these charges, but 10 plus lawsuits and counting in regards to the things he has done in his past, okay? Understand, Combs around the same age as me, if not the same age, 53, somewhere in there. He didn't live a good life, but right now, it's looking like it might be kind of over for that brother, okay? All right, now here's the thing. I'm saying this like y'all all saying this in the court of public opinion. In our opinion, the court of public opinion, him guilty, him done. Okay? I need to point out for the record, good people, the infamous video that we've all seen earlier this year with him basically taking Cassie and kicking her like a football. That is not the charge in any of this, okay? He is not being charged for that at this time, okay? Though it is said that the victim in this particular case may very well be hurt. There's several witnesses and whatnot, but right now the one victim they're claiming is one, and more than likely she is that one victim. Keep in mind that at one point they was this. That was her boo, him, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Let's walk through that for a minute. They was together in a relationship. Was it turbulent? Obviously so. Did it end? Yes. At that moment, did these things come to light? No. But were there rumors out there? There have been rumors out there about P. Diddy Combs for many, many years. Okay, we all know these things. They've questioned lots, okay? Now, here's where things really get interesting. Okay, let's just say all these charges that they've charged him on is lock solid good. Understanding these are federal charges, okay? The federal government dealing with this. You don't bring that brother in and lock him up if you're the government and you don't have something that you feel is going to stick like glue, okay? You're not gonna do it, all right? Nor are you on the other end in a scenario where it's like, okay, it ain't looking good, let me dip. Keep in mind, he had that opportunity at some point in the scenario to say, okay, this ain't looking good. Let me get my passport, get on my black jet. Let me fly off somewhere where they can't touch me, or at least where I think they can't touch me. Understand, this is a world where anybody could be touched if it was truly the will of that to be touched. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, he is there. Charges are there. He is in jail. Now, we got to address the elephant in the room, okay? And understand at this point, this is usually where I will pull out the good old cards that we like to call the race cards. I don't know what I've done with them today. So just imagine at this point, I'm pulling out the cards and I'm pulling out the black card, that good old card we like to call the race card, you know? Kathy was with Ryan Leslie first, and he was Diddy's artist. Ro, giving you a little blow by blow the scenario. I'm pretty sure, Ro, if you haven't addressed this already on your show, 6 Row, that you probably will. Looking forward to hearing that if you haven't done it already, because I know you have some very good takes on these things. Looking forward to hearing those. Again, y'all check out Road to Stardom Radio, Spotify, Apple, Play FM, Blog Talk Radio, Homegirls everywhere, okay? And perhaps in another spot, we're going to talk about that, Road. But anyway, here's the thing, people. The man is in prison, okay? He is a man of humongous means. In other words, he got lots and lots of money, okay? Lots of money. They have had 2 hearings now where he basically tried to get bond. One of which they say he offered things such as $50 million bail up front, turning in all his passports, his kids' passports, offering to be put on a tether and be confined to just Miami and New York, so on and so forth. So far, all that has been turned down. No, sir. We do not trust that if we let you out, you ain't going to try to run. You got to stay in there. Now, let's dig about the recent past. Remember this dude, Harvey Weinstein? Remember that guy? Initially, when all the charges started to come on him, and Lord knows, as time went on, we found out a lot about Harvey. Initially, he was granted bond and allowed to go on about his life for a minute till finally they just had to go on and lock him up. Remember at one point when Bill Cosby was facing all of those charges, initially he was not locked up until he was. Remember your good buddy O.J. Simpson? Remember when all that happened? O.J. wasn't locked up for a while until he was. Remember, what is being charged right now is a very elaborate enterprise of foolishness, okay? If basic person A had done half of this, not only am I locked up right now like Diddy is, but ain't no way in here I would even be able to even think about trying to get out, okay? Would it surprise me that they work out some deal and Diddy is allowed to get out sometime next 7 to 10 days? No. Why? Money talks. But is it just about the money, people? I need you to think about what we know about Sean Puff Daddy Combs. One of the things we do know is he got a lot of people in his circle that he has dealt with on some level, okay? And as you see in these last few days, people starting to run their mouth a little bit. Most of them are saying what you probably would say at this point. Oh, I ain't had nothing to do with the freak offs, okay? I wasn't involved in the freak offs. I wasn't down for the freak offs. I wasn't at none of the freak offs, okay? Remember, some of the evidence that they say they have involves that thing called videotape. We got the on tape, okay? Now, I'm going to safely assume if we had access to all of those tapes, we're going to see more famous people than just Sean P. Diddy Combs. I think that's a very safe assumption. As Roe has reiterated, these charges are federal. That's why there is no bond on top of the fact that he is a flight risk and they is not allowing it. Keep in mind, I'm glad Joe is here. Joe is a person that knows the law. We know this. Remember, it's an indictment, people, which means you're innocent until proven guilty. Bond is still a right, or so it's alleged. Excellent point, Officer Mosley. Joe, I know. Don't go there. I know. But anyway, good people. Federal charges have nothing to do with the bond. Like I said, there have been other people who've had federal charges, bro, who has been allowed bond. That is correct. Joe is absolutely correct about that. Like I said, this is more about privilege versus, y'all know what I'm saying. Why we always got to go there? We don't always have to go there. But sometimes we got to go there. If Diddy was, say, Elon Musk or feeling your favorite billionaire there, y'all know who I'm talking about. That dude ain't locked up right now. And he been convicted. Okay? Convicted of what he done did. Not only is he not locked up, that brother walking around talking about, I'm going to be running things. Remember that dude? All things aren't equal, people. No, sir. Joe is saying 100% correct. That's right. So, I think that's part of the scenario. The other part is, like I said, we have to consider the one big question. Was Diddy alone in these acts? We already know our answer without having seen a stitch of this evidence. No. He may have been the person to help coordinate all of this, but I promise you, Diddy ain't went in no store and bought no 1,000 bottles of baby oil. He ain't been in no store buying hundreds of bottles of lube. That wasn't him. He may have gave the order. He may have paid the bill for it. Please read the October issue of The Atlantic. Thank you very much for that information. You know, I like to do my research, and you do as well. Thank you, Joe, for that. Y'all see that, right, by the way? Read the October issue of The Atlantic. October issue of The Atlantic. Thank you, co-pilot. Set that up for me. All right. More information we can get, the better. It's the more you know. Boom, boom, boom. Remember that from back in the day? But anyway, Diddy is not alone in this thing. So the question I ask you, good people of the airways and the airwaves, are we ready to see just how bad this bad boy thing gets? You know Diddy got many famous friends. Now, don't all of them look like us, but most of them do. And several of them are just as famous, if not more famous. Understand, we don't know none of the real deal Holyfield of this case. We ain't seen no evidence, but a lot of people's names starting to pop out the air. Some of that is just us speculating. Some of that is some of these people that know some of these people and know what they did last summer, putting it out there. We know people like Jay-Z them been in that same area with Puff. We know people like Jamie Foxx. We know people like Beyonce. We know people like Mary J. Blige and worked for Bad Boy, Mason. And we even go far back as Biggie. We remember that he once dated Jennifer Lopez. These just a few names going on. I'm not accusing them of anything. No, allegedly, none of that. Please don't come trying to sue a brother. I'm just saying what the people were saying, okay? They throwing y'all names out here for public consumption. And many more people's names going to pop up. Pretty much anybody that worked for Bad Boy, who was on the making of the band, who dated Puppy. You already know Miss City Girl herself, Carisha, gonna be in this mix somewhere, seeing that they recently dated, they have a child together and such. Okay, Road is saying there's a video being shopped around the networks that features Diddy, Mary J, and one of his victims. I'm just saying, It's out here. For the next few weeks, he's going to be the talk of the town. Basically, anybody got, because we live in this day and age. They said several phones was confiscated in these raids, okay? When people are being called to witness and testify, I promise you, it's going to be at least, let me throw a number out there, 10, 20 people that on their phone, their hard drive, got some type of video. It's going to be somebody and be like, hey, that brother look awfully oily right there. Is that sister lubing up? That look like Diddy to me. That's definitely his house. I've been there. And so on and so forth. What are we looking at, people? We are looking at what would potentially be, in my mind, the biggest trial in the history of the United States. It has the potential to do that, particularly if they somehow decide to air any of this. It's a federal trial. I don't know. I guess it depends on the jurisdiction and whatnot, the rules of that part of the land. But imagine, for those of us who lived during the time of the OJ trial, remember that and being glued in like the daily soap opera every day? I think compared to this OJ stuff, this thing could get extra spicy, okay? I'm talking about pay-per-view type TV. Because remember, everybody know that brother, somebody that know that brother, and could potentially be called to witness or testify or get some papers on them, depending on their roles in this thing. They are offering immunity to anyone who tells. You see what I'm saying? Bottom line is, when the federal people got you caught up like that, they ain't trying to lose. Federal prosecutors, they some of the best lawyers on the planet. They ain't set up to lose. If they didn't lock you up at this point, they feel like they got enough right now without all the evidence that's going to be added to it to lock you up, keep you locked up, and have you locked up, okay? Understand, if one or two of these charges stick, Diddy's done. Now, okay, let me play devil's advocate for a minute. Let's just say somehow, some way, either by the means of the power that is Diddy and all the money that he has, or the fact that we look at all this stuff and realize that ain't Diddy. He ain't had nothing to do with that much of it. All he did was what he did to Cassie in the hotel room. Thusly, because of statute of limitations and whatnot, he get a couple slaps on the wrist and he's free to go. That's best case scenario here. If all that happens, you already know it doesn't matter. That brother's Jonathan Majors at this point. Him career over. Ain't nobody touching Diddy with a 10-foot pole, and we know it. Even though this is supposed to be a forgiving society, and the current Republican nominee for president is more or less being forgiven by about half of us and being allowed to not only walk around free, but eventually be in charge of the government again. We know how that end of it looked. And these things he's been convicted of. Found guilty in a court of law. Guilty. Judgments for the plaintiff and all of that. And this brother still walking around scot-free. Not a wrist mark on him of handcuffs, okay? Which does point that out. This is why voting matters, particularly in this election. I know we say this all the time, people, but y'all see what it is. It's true. It's damn true. Very important, okay? Extremely. In fact, because we know they're going to and already are doing hokey pokey things to the vote, if you can vote in person on that day, please do so. No hokey pokey. I'm going to be ready for him. Here's my ID, what's my voter number, what's my ballot number. I'm writing all this down. I'm taking the pictures. Remember, you're allowed to take your phone in the ballot box, record what you can, record the area if it's hokey pokey. If they deny you of anything on election day, Call the local authorities and let them know, yeah, they trying to not let me vote. This it. Get somebody down here right now. I didn't press charge. Hold on. Law didn't press charges because the statute of limitations ran out. Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately. But I imagine because the government and those things work the way they do, it's some type of workaround around that road. They could somehow slap some of that. Ain't no double jeopardy and stuff like that. I understand that, but it's a way around that some degree to weave that into the rest of this. I'm pretty sure. Like I said, I don't know. I don't want to say that brother guilty. I hate this for him. I hate this for my people because this is a bad reflection on us. This says to people, yeah, you can't let black people get that type of power and prestige. You see what they're going to do with it? Because he ain't the only example. Remember, we got that brother. Remember that brother Robert Kelly? Remember him? Locked up now? And understand, them two were friends. Okay? Wouldn't that be crazy if in the depths of this, they bring Robert up out of jail to testify against Diddy or even for Diddy for that matter? They didn't party together. What if those two entities is wrapped up in this some type of way? Well, yeah, not only do I know about it, hell, he helped buy half the baby oil. This could get really, really out of hand, is what I'm trying to tell y'all. This thing could be crazier than anything we've ever seen. But then I also point out, remember that brother Epstein? Remember him? Remember the island and all of that? Remember the infamous books of people that was on the island with the young girls and him? Remember that? Him grooming the young ladies and people coming to visit him. But for whatever reason, he's no longer with us. I'm not. Put your own 2 + 2 together. I've always felt some type of way about his demise. I'm just saying. They say he committed suicide. What? We ain't supposed to say that on the air. He became unalive. We got to leave it at that. That is the official explanation. But for us people that do have our own conspiracy theories, you know what I'm saying. Keep an eye on Diddy. I'm just saying. If something happened, I'm not liking the look of that. Just saying. The wrong people might be on them tapes. And it may be important that those tapes never see the light of day for that reason. Because I promise you, the wrong people was on that island. Ain't no doubt in my mind. And the reason why we don't know all that is to know about that to this day, because the wrong people was there, and it's better off we don't know who some of them wrong people is. But we know Jeffrey Epstein has some famous friends of his own, okay? So what I'm saying is keep an eye out for how this plays out moving forward, because it could indeed be interesting. But yeah, bottom line is the unexpected victims of this is his family, particularly his younger kids, who I'm pretty sure didn't have anything to do with it. I'm talking about the younger kids, okay? I can't count out the older sons and whatnot, especially the one that's always running his mouth. I'm surprised they ain't locked him up too just yet. Wouldn't surprise me though. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that for now. I reserve the right to discuss it more later on, and I probably will. Not necessarily on this show, but on the show we know as Up in Them Folks Business. Y'all remember that? My ill-fated attempt to do a show about entertainment and entertainment entities. I said at some point I would try to revisit that. I am. Not only am I going to revisit that, but some other things, because I have some exciting news to share with you. So before we end this episode, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'm going to tell you about the latest thing in Project Nighthawk that's going to jump off tomorrow. In fact, in a couple hours. What you talking about, E? I'll let you know after these words from my Nighthawk Network. Nighthawk Network, our voices for our people.
Hello, hello, hello. It's another glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comforts together because it's time to dish the tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling.
Nighthawk Network presents Pastor Sean Love. Pastor Sean Love, devoted father and husband, a residing pastor at the River Rouge Bible Assembly in River Rouge, Michigan. Join him as he gives us messages from God's Word, Bible study, and encouragement. You can find him on YouTube under Sean Love. All right, people, we are back. This is I Am Nighthawk Pod Show. I'm your boy E-Buck, kicking it with you for a few more minutes, but then I got to go. Why, do you ask? Because I've been working on this very big project that I've hinted at for weeks now. It is about time to break it off. What is it? For those of you who have seen my Facebook page in the last few days, a few weeks, you see I've been posting various messages about radio stations, in particular internet radio stations. Well, I am proud to announce as of midnight, I will be officially launching my very own internet station in association with Charles K. Thomas Group. It is called Nighthawk Network Radio. Nighthawk Network Radio, where we will be playing primarily 80s and 90s R&B and soul, but we'll be also playing a variety of other music because it reflects my childhood. As a child, I listened to various types of music, but music definitely was my jam. It still has been. For those of you who know my whole historiography, you know that at one point in time, I was a radio DJ in college. I was also a DJ, a party DJ at some point. I've always had an interest in that life. My first job offer coming out of college was to be a program director at a radio station in Grand Rapids. At the time, the money was whack, and what they wanted me to do was immense for said money. Couldn't do it. Grand Rapids sucked back then. Grand Rapids a lot better, I must admit, since then. A lot of growth in that city. Shout out to them. That station no longer exists. Maybe that was something premonition, perhaps. But anyway, I am now CEO, proprietor, and head program director of Nighthawk Network Radio. Where will you be able to find that? Well, I'm going to post that information for you guys at the end of this episode. Also, I'll be posting it on my Facebook page, pretty much all my social media, so you can find it. There's already a Nighthawk Network Radio page. I will be sending out invites for y'all to check it out so y'all can chime in with your comments, your requests, some of the things you'd like to hear on the station. Remember, not just going to be R&B and soul 80s and 90s. We also going to have different hours of the day where we have different sets. Like, for example, if I set up everything correctly, tomorrow we will have a live set, well, basically a live in concert with several people's live in concert versions of songs. Sometime this weekend, we are going to have something for you guys known as the Smokers, okay? We're going to have a Smokers mix. Songs about smoking and whatnot, okay? Any given day, there may be some type of little set. Once or twice a week, we're going to have country on the station. Country music, yes, sir. We're going to have jazz on the station a few times a week as well. I have a lot of musical interest, and it's going to be reflected in the station along with what we play. Also, you'll be able to find episodes and clips of my Nighthawk Network show, which is I Am Nighthawk, and also my sports show, Big Buck Sports Report. Also, you'll be able to find my partner in crime, Hugh Lee, and some of the stuff he's working on. We're going to put that on the network as well. Road, I'm sending you, my friend, an open invitation. I would like for you to do a show on my network. I also want to talk to you about your network and what happened with all that there. We'll discuss off the air. For my other partners of crime, keep in mind, there is a radio co-op that I'm basically going to call it, that I'm working with. Because, of course, you know, I've been doing shows for WTEA Radio and will continue to do that for my good buddy Big Meat, my partner. And also for the dude known as the Veil, formerly known as Big Red, and WAHR Radio. We're going to try to do some things on his platform also. All those places you will be able to find on Live 365, which is the internet link to the station. Like I said, we'll put in the various tabs where you can find all of us there. Please do your boy a favor, like and subscribe. There's this button that you'll find that say add to favorites. Do that for me. All those things help my numbers over there and helps in terms of what we're able to do on the platform moving forward. Please like and share. Let us know what you like, what you didn't like. Understand that unlike your typical radio station, yeah, you're going to hear several songs that you're familiar with, but you're also going to hear a lot of songs that don't play on the radio, the regular radio, quite as much. That's part of why I like the platform. So you don't have to hear They're Not Like Us 6,000 times a day. You will not hear that on my station. I promise you, no more than maybe 3 or 4 times a day will you hear any song at this point. And that's only because we still need to catalog and download lots and lots of music to make it work to its full extent. Once we get that fully running, which will probably take a couple months, truthfully, then yeah, maybe twice a day at the most, you will hear the same song. That is our goal, okay? We hope you like it and enjoy it. Like I said, I got to go now because I got an hour, 53 minutes to make this happen. I still got quite a bit of work to do in terms of that. So that being said, this is going to end our show. I am Nighthawk. Thank you for your comments. And those watching either now or in the future, feel free to comment further. Like I said, you can follow me on my Facebook page. You can follow me on Nighthawk, which is my Instagram page. Also, you can follow me on TikTok. We are there. And we're going to have other platforms. Of course, obviously, the new platform, Nighthawk Network Radio. You can follow me there as well. Thank you for your time. Without further ado, I got to head out and make this thing happen. Again, Nighthawk Network Radio launching tonight, midnight, here in the Nighthawk Network studios. Until then, y'all, love y'all. Be safe, be blessed. When all else fails, put your hands together with the man, do the rest. Diddy family, you in the thoughts, prayers, Diddy, man. Diddy. Anyway, we about, y'all. Where is my outro? Where my theme music? Oh, there it is. Deuces. This has been the I Am Nighthawk podcast. A Nighthawk Network presentation. Nighthawk Network, our voices for our people.